Good morning. Hollywood is imploding in on itself. Do I have a solution for you? I am Mecca, and I am your favorite YouTube harpy. To my right is off camera. Who are you? Why are you here?
I'm Rob off camera, and I'm here because I don't know why.
We're both off camera.
We're both off camera.
We're both off camera.
Yeah,
my
that's
salacious crumb to my. Everybody's got. That's the lowest hanging fruit. You're more of a what?
Ed McMahon.
Really?
Maybe Paul Schaefer.
But head to my Beavis.
Yeah, yeah, man, Dave. It's hip. It's now. It's 80s. Yeah. It was swinging on the coast, Dave.
What?
Like
who?
Paul Schaefer.
What? Superman. It might be canceled, this one. People are liking that one, though. Gotham Knights nobody cares about. What's the Winchesters?
I don't know. That's a good question. There's a lot of stuff being canceled that I've never heard of now.
Winchester.
I was like, with Superior, like, wait, well, there's something called I can't remember what the heck show it was. I was like, wow. Since when is there a show called that?
Well, there's so many shows that just kind of get unnoticed because they don't use this outrage marketing. They don't use this, rage bait. They don't use any of this stuff that gets people to notice it, like these reboots in genre TV. Like
I've been saying for a while now, apparently one of the biggest things on television is something called Yellowstone, which I haven't even heard of until a few months ago.
There's a new Michelle Yeoh show called what, Guan Yin?
Guan Yin or something
on
like
Disney
that,
Plus, where she plays a Chinese goddess, like the human incarnation of Buddha or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into it. This is such a weird thing too, because I just found a statue of that might be ivory at a thrift store that was buried in a box, and
now
I'm
the
like,
feds are banging on the door.
Well, I didn't know I was buying it. I thought I was buying the box and the charm necklace.
I don't think we have to worry about the illegal ivory trade coming.
Well, I'm not selling it or anything. It's just a weird coincidence.
It is a weird coincidence.
Other weird coincidences. Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah. Now, before anybody gets giddy about Family Guy being canceled, they're not canceling Family Guy.
No.
And he's not quitting. He's just stepping aside until they have a new Writers Guild of America deal.
This isn't a coincidence. The coincidence is the next article, but we're going to go off a tangent first. He quits Family Guy American Dad until a new writer's contract is struck because he's not going to cross a picket line. He's not a scab.
Right. Technically, he's a writer, so he is part of the guild.
So he is part of the picket.
So yeah, but he's considered management.
Also, and voice talent as well.
Yes.
He's a man of many hats.
Yes, and they all hate him for that.
Right?
He sings, he acts, he writes, he directs, he does everything.
Yeah, he's kind of like a less cute version of Trey Parker. Anyway, we're going on a tangent. So Deadline is saying MacFarlane has left both hit Fox series along with their respective showrunners amidst the ongoing strike. How long do you think this writer's strike is going to be?
By they, I mean people who know more than I in this matter, are saying that this could very well run into the fall. This
really, really needs to go in and shake things up. This is a great reset that we need of sorts.
Well, all we're going to get is more reality programming.
Well, yeah, but once they get rid of all these bad talent people, like your Ava DuVernays and all of your garbage, like, what's going on with Leslie Headland's Acolyte?
Apparently, she said they're going to focus on the female villains. And it's going to reflect our times. Yay! Yay, fun!
We'll just put up a picture of that headline so I don't have to go and pull up the article. I don't know if I want to do a whole video on that or not. Do you guys want me to do a whole video on that? Because Hollywood, that's part of my point. Hollywood kind of needs to collapse in on itself right about now. I mean, the only good shows have been on the air for 20 some odd years. South Park. Family Guy. Is Family Guy still good? Is American
Family
Dad
Guy's still running. Well, I don't know if it's still good. American Dad was better than Family Guy for a while.
Yeah, for a while it was getting a little better. Beavis and Butthead's good.
Beavis and Butthead's good.
Cool.
That's kind of like an exception to the rule. That's like, well, I want that one back because that one's good, and that one went away for a while.
King of the Hill's coming back.
Oh no, what are they doing to that?
I don't know, Bobby.
Oh, they're changing that one to deal with modern times too, aren't they?
That you can, as long as Hank stays the same, and as long as Hank reacts, because Hank was already doing that. The world was sort of changing around Hank.
Yeah.
And so he was like,
What the hell kind of country is this where I can only hate a man if he's white?
I really don't remember much of King of the Hill. It didn't
King of
have
the Hill was
music
very.
videos, but...
Well, King of the Hill was good. King of the Hill was very.
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I watched more Beavis and Butthead though.
I mean,
I have a solution for all this Hollywood though, because I think we really need to shake things up.
Yeah.
We need something. Marky Mark thinks so too. He says, "Why not come to Vegas?" Right? There's proposals too. So this thing, I think this is awfully coincidental with this bipartisan bill, and we gotta talk politics. Don't worry, it's not a thing. Anything that's gonna be like divisive. This is actually something that I can get behind and talk about. I live in Nevada. They're considering $190 million in annual tax credits to bring Sony film industry to Las Vegas.
that's not unusual. A lot of places give tax credits to film industry,
Like Atlanta, Vancouver,
New York,
Bulgaria.
You know, the Czech Republic.
That's why you see so many things filmed in Atlanta.
London, Australia. A lot of places give tax credits to shoot movies in their cities and their locations in their states.
When I lived out here 20 years ago, I was already saying that Las Vegas was starting to feel like a suburb of LA anyway. We have the studios, we have the entertainment. Every single casino. When I went to the Rio 20 years ago to audition for Wheel of Fortune, they have a whole sound studio there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, a soundstage is really relatively. I wouldn't say it's easy to build, but you can build a soundstage pretty much anywhere.
Every casino has one. Every casino has the capacity for live television. We need to bring back more of these live televised game show sort of things.
Yeah, I can picture a day when live from Las Vegas, it's Wheel of Fortune.
That used to be a big deal. They don't do that anymore. Well,
Yeah.
you couldn't with this day and age of people interrupting. We've got too many people trying to go viral. Too many people trying to get their 15 minutes.
Well, the other thing,
too many streakers, basically. Too many Baba Booies. Remember the investor call?
Oh yeah.
Well,
the other thing too is, I'm going to say this. I mean, take a look around. There's a lot of freaking land around here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's all outside, though. That's all federal land.
But you can build a soundstage pretty easily. There's a lot of land just in and around this. You could build.
Well, pretty much. Oh, I guess what you're talking about is like every 5 blocks you go, there's like a giant empty lot of about 2 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much Las Vegas for you. It all depends on what neighborhood you're in too, but. I think this is a great idea. Maybe it'll shake things up a bit. And Mark Walhberg did kind of leave Hollywood because of a lot of the I hate bringing it in, the politics of Hollywood are really, really interrupting with the creativity of Hollywood, regardless of which side of the aisle you're on, I think.
Well, the other part about this is that it's only a few hours drive from LA. You can run back to LA if you need to.
It's a 45-minute flight, if that.
You need to shoot a scene by the ocean. You can just run to, we need to shoot by the ocean today. Get in the car and you drive.
Any producer worth their salt, if you want to know what Kathleen Kennedy's job is, they're going to be the ones who say, hey, we need a crew to go and shoot on the beach at this day. How can we organize that?
Yeah.
Who do I need to call? Can we get somebody on this? Do we call the police to shut this down?
Yeah.
Do we need a permit? Here's our permit. We're going to be filming. That's what the producers do.
And they send the second unit team out to go and film the footage they need.
This is a no-brainer, especially when all of these shows keep just collapsing in on themselves. All of these shows are just getting canceled left, right, and center.
Well, like I said, Family Guy and American Dad aren't going anywhere. They still make a lot of money.
Yeah, they're going to be part of this. Is that part of the problem, though? Like, we only have maybe 5 or 6 really good shows.
Part of the problem, and I've said this before, and I'm going to bring up a sports ball analogy, is when you expand, you start to spread the talent pool very thin. The talent becomes spread out too thin. You get people in positions they have no business being in because of expansion.
They fail upwards. I think a lot of it, they get hired based on who they know.
Yes, and that's another thing.
Based on what they say on Twitter. If they trash the right people, for example, then they get hired. And that's every job, I think, lately with the social media.
How did Alex Kurtzman really get his job? He was willing to cross the picket line, and I think his father-in-law was one of the guys making Star Trek 2009 or something like that.
It was something like that.
It's who you know.
It's who you know.
And
who you pander to.
And then he repays it later to someone else. He repays that to someone else.
Some favor. Oh yeah, I'll owe you a favor then later on. And that's how these shows, so they hire the same 5 people
Yeah,
over and over again to do these shows. But Hollywood needs a shakeup. We need something big.
Yeah.
Because between ChatGPT, bad writing, mediocre at best. Did you see Dave Cullen even retracted his Star Trek Picard review?
He did?
Yeah, go pull that up.
I will. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
without watching it.
Without watching it, he says, I changed my mind about this, about Star Trek, about Picard.
He may have been wrong, he says. Yes.
Well, after you watch it, it feels incredibly average. It feels like it's written by ChatGPT. Like,
Yeah.
hey, what would a Star Trek series be about if you took all these elements of these things that all the YouTubers said they liked about Star Trek?
That's true. I mean, yeah. I mean, one of the things is, like I said, we've entered an age. We're not in peak television. We are in mediocre television. We have far too much mediocre television. Granted, in the old days, there were 3 channels. You only needed something that was better than the other that was on the other channels at the same time. However, we still got things like I Love Lucy, The Honeymooners, Star Trek, MASH, All in the Family, The Jeffersons. We still got like things like Dynasty. We got Dallas. We got stuff that was actually pretty darn good, is what I'm saying. Now it's just there's more options, but there's just more crap.
That's because the crap is louder because it pulls Velma out of its butt.
That's
and
true.
is yelling at you and telling you why you're an istophobe for not liking it.
Well, you don't you don't like Velma. How dare you not like Velma?
Meanwhile, standing right behind Velma, that her big, robust backside, her ample body is blocking, is like the good show you actually want to watch, but you have no idea because of all the noise and blockage of the Velmas out there.
Yeah. How dare you not like Velma? I don't. I just want to watch Beavis and Butthead. What? No. You're an istophobe if you don't like Velma. How
Okay.
dare you? You should. Yeah. I just want to watch Beavis and Butthead. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Mecca, we got more Beavis and Butthead to watch. Go watch that. That's actually really good.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.